Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here thanks to our good friend Marshall. You know him as Marshall Law 123. Give him a huge shout out in the comments. Thanks for loaning me this knife to check out. It is the Demco Knives 80-20.5, and it doesn't look like any of the other ones you've seen so far, but has some aftermarket scales on it. We're going to take a peek at this one. Of course, we kind of know what we think about the shark lock, but we're going to talk about some of the advantages. And I want to know your opinions in the comments below. Is the shark lock for you? So we'll do a quick overview of this one right here. This is the AUS 10A steel, little stonewash blade, pretty nice overall. As you can see, you got a little tiny bit of information on the blade. It is made in Taiwan, so it's labeled on there. You got the Demco logo on there right there. I like the minimalistic branding. I like the stonewash. You know I'm a fan of the blue. It's got the blue G10. It's got some texturing on it, which is really nice. It's got that black backspacer. And of course you got the shark lock. And on the shark lock you have some jimping here, which when you're holding it makes for a little bit of a thumb ramp, but it kind of puts that in the middle, you know, where you want to rest. So I have to be careful because you can start to disengage that shark lock a little bit. But if you hold it like this, you can definitely keep your thumb in that location thanks to that jimping. Now, overall blade length on this one, 3¼ inches. The overall length of the entire knife when it's open, 7.625 inches. And the handle, when it's closed, 4½ inches. Now, this has some very, very slender scales on it. I really like it. This one, the stock weight with the FRN, I believe is 3.55 ounces. So that's kind of nice. It's sturdy. It's a big one. The only problem I have, there's a little bit of jimping right here on this part of the shark lock. And obviously you want that grip, right? It fires out. But for me, when you start using it, fidget wise, it starts to wear on the finger a bit. So it's going to wear that fingertip down. What are your thoughts on that? Now, overall, price-wise, full MSRP, I've seen these at like $2.25. I've seen them on a lot of knife, dealers. They're at about $159. Of course, the extra scales are going to be a little bit extra, but these are some very budget-friendly ones. I think you picked up for under $20, which is really cool. And of course, you got that pocket clip. You can go right or left-handed carry on it. You just unscrew, flip it over to the other side. And they did not forget about the lanyard fans, so shout out to the lanyard fans. It's pretty awesome. They thought of you. Now I have a large glove size hand. You can see fits well. I full grip on it. Nothing too crazy. I feel a little bit my middle finger, just from the little bit of use I've had. I can feel that hit kind of right in this area. And you can see kind of a little lines that it left just from gripping it hard. That's the only place I feel a hot spot when I grab this. And my thumb actually comes up here to the jimping on top of the blade. I don't rest it back here. I use it right there. Now it does also have a little bit of a thumb hole opening. If you want to spidey flick it out, you can do that, which is kind of cool. So what's your preferred method of deployment? Use thumb studs or to use the hole, or you can use the lock. Let's take a look at that. I'll show you that here real quick. And it just kind of pinches. You can see it pinches into my finger right there, but you can, pull back on that and just flip it out. And then you got to get the trick down to do it both ways. It takes a little bit of practice. Obviously, I'm an axis lock kind of guy, but there's no liner lock, there's no frame lock. You're not putting your finger or thumb in the middle of the blade path. So everything's out of the way when you go to close it or open it with the shark lock. Super strong. Obviously, the way they've built this lock is not susceptible to any sort of dirt, grime to get in there, which is really cool. And the thumb studs are actually very comfortable. You can see they're kind of, it's like a stepped milling and then a little bit rounded near the top. So very comfortable to use. I don't notice it at all, when I'm using it. That's the only thing. And it's kind of, it's shark-esque, right? Because it's kind of bitey, bites you just a little bit, right? Kind of That's what it's intended for. I'm sure that's why it's got the kind of name. Shark fin kind of sticks out. But either way, we're going to compare this one to some of our favorite knives, and we're just going to give it a look and see kind of what category it's in. So of course we have the 80-20.5, and I know several people have explained, you know, they like some of the other ones, the 20, the 15. So let me know down in the comments if you have a favorite one besides this. We're going to take a look at a Spyderco Para 3 and just size comparison. And this one's in the P-Ply carbon fiber S90V. Pretty awesome knife. One of my users, and you can see it's pretty comparable, almost as long, a little bit shorter in the blade there. Obviously you get a forward finger choil there and a little bit shorter in the handle. And here's kind of how it compares to me. You know, I still have a decent grip, but you can get up on it, get that forward finger choil going. Of course, you got the compression lock, so you got to find it. I know, Justin, don't hate me. I haven't put my compression lock on that one yet. One of the ones thickness-wise that I've kind of, you know, compared it to while I've carried it has kind of been the Deca. And the Deca with like carbon fiber scales, almost similar in blade length, and then handle as well. You know, if you line it up pivot to pivot like this, pretty darn close. And here's how the Deca holds in my hand. It's a solid knife. I like the Deca. And here's your thickness comparison. So when you're really looking at it, pretty close. You know, the Deca's maybe a smidge thicker. You know, you got that Able lock on there, but overall, I think, you know, it's kind of right in that neighborhood. Obviously, it's a little heavier, especially the way it's built, but I'm kind of fond of those, you know, those Axis style locks. That one has the Able lock. Either way, you guys know what I'm talking about. This is your Benchmade Griptilian sheep's foot, full size, and you can see blade length is just a smidge longer on the Griptilian. Handle's pretty close, but a little bit more open here, so you have a little bit more room to play with. So, you know, obviously there's some extra room there for me. There's no forward finger choil on this, but it's got that awesome look to it with the sheep's foot hole. But this one, I have to say, Marshall, thank you for letting me check this out, and thank you for letting me carry it, because it's been a fun one to carry. There's so many options for this. I've seen some really cool like OG scales, the original goat. I've also seen some extra clips and things you can put on it. But let me know down in the comments. Also, make sure to do something kind for someone. Hashtag dskfs. Hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and thanks for checking this one out, and we'll see you on the next one.